Hudson Valley Knits podcast. I am Amy, your host, also known as Memers on Ravelry, and I am Memers66 on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks for joining me here. I am at Senasqua Park in Croton, New York, down along the river. It's been very busy here all day, but the soccer practice just ended. There's like 2 big soccer fields over there. So all the parents and kids have left in drones and probably going home to get ready for school and work tomorrow. It's Sunday, the 20-something. I don't remember the date. I suppose I could find that real quick. Sunday, September 25th, and it's around 4 o'clock. Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks. I do have stuff to show you. It's been a wonderful 2 weeks. So I hinted before that I had a trip to Disney. We're all to Orlando, Florida, where my daughter's going to school. Me, my mom, and my sister went. And I'll talk a lot about that at the end. Surprisingly, I did get some knitting done while in Florida. I didn't go to Disney World every day. We had some off days where we just sat by the pool. But even that, man, it was hard to knit down there because it's just like a sweaty armpit down in Florida. Yeah, but Disney World was worth it. So, I'm going to start off with our whips. I have quite a few projects to show you. I'll start with the Smithy Socks. So the Smithy Socks are in my Socks That Rock anniversary bag, which I'll be gifting to Sandy because she really liked it and I really don't care for it. It's not my color, it's not my style, and the zipper not smooth, but it's a great, it's a well-made bag. It's just not, not my thing. And being that as I'm not allowed to trade with anybody that didn't do the Socks That Rock Club that year, nobody's gonna want it because they all have it. So anyway, I don't know if you recall, but I think last podcast I showed you a skein of yarn, and what happened was I had started the Smithy Socks from the cup down. Now it calls for Socks That Rock lightweight. I am making it with medium weight for Mark. He needs that extra thickness because he wears through the socks quicker. And so I'm knitting it in size 2 needles. I think these are, high needles. And I decided I'll knit the medium size, thinking it would come out big enough for Mark. And it didn't. It was, we got it over his heel, but it was just too tight. Sorry about the wind. I know it's probably quite noisy. Actually not as windy as it was yesterday. So what I did is I frogged the whole sock and I started over toe up. I decided to do it just as it did in the pattern. I don't knit very many socks toe up, but once in a while it's nice to do some changing, right? Change things up a bit. So I am knitting the directions for the large size with the medium weight yarn, and actually it's slightly loose. Sorry. It's slightly loose on him, but it's snug enough that it's definitely wearable. Here is the foot. Gorgeous color called Cornucopia. In like a chevron pattern up the top of the foot. Here's the heel. I did the gusset increases, the heel turn, and then I just finished the heel flap. I'm thinking I should have done it in the knit one, slip one, but I didn't think of it at the time, so that's fine. So I am starting up on the foot, and being that this is such a generous skein, it was actually the skein. What does it say on the band? It says on the band approximately 405 yards of a medium weight. So that's 6 ounces or 170 grams. I weighed it and I got 6.5 ounces and 183 grams. So this is a really beefy skein of yarn and will be more than enough to make a nice size sock for Mark with his large foot. Mark's feet are not, he's a 10.5, but he's got like really thick feet, like Fred Flintstone feet, and thick calves. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's very easily memorizable, and this is what I worked on when I was at the pool because it didn't have to touch me. I mean, like, I found some shady palm trees to sit under and knit. Ugh. It was friggin', it's like you walk out your door, it's like you have to swim through the air. Sorry for all you Floridians that love it, I don't get it. Anyway, that is the sock. So I think I knit on it maybe a few hours during the week. That's about it. It wasn't a lot of knitting time. And like I said, I couldn't knit for long while I was outside. A couple of mornings I kind of went down early. They had like a barista area where they had tables, and I would sit there and knit a little bit. But plain knitting wise, what I did is last podcast, Sandy and I shared with you the shelter yarn we bought and the hat pattern we were going to make. So that's what I did on the plain. And this is 2 plain rides worth of knitting, so about 6 hours worth of knitting. Sorry for the sun. I might have to change my angle here, but here's the hat. Very enjoyable knit, really hard to get gauged. If you knit the furrow hat, do the gauge swatch in the round and definitely check your gauge, block it out, and measure it. I usually go up a needle size or 2 because I tend to knit tight, and this, I went down 2 needle sizes and it's still a little loose. I kind of got gauged, but it was, like I said, just a little loose. And I'm going to press pause now and turn the camera so that the sun's not behind me. The sun's going down, it's after 4, and it's going to wash me out. So I'm just going to put the camera over to my right so we're facing kind of north, and you'll still see the river, but you won't have the sun glaring. It might be glaring on my right side, but I mean, that's the best I could do. So hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is much better. And actually you can see the soccer fields, not really so much the river, which is kind of over to my right, and kind of goes around a bend and up north. But you can see what a beautiful park this is in Croton. I'm so grateful for it. It's fairly new. I'm trying to think how many years it's been here, maybe 4 or 5 years if that. Anyway, here's a better look at the hat now that the sun is not glaring. You can see the beautiful Tweedy yarn and the cable pattern. It's a moss stitch, and here you have the cables. I've just started the crown decreases, and I'm knitting these on Haya US 5, 3.75 millimeters. I think it suggested 7. So yeah, and I think Sandy went down to a size 2 or something ridiculous. She's a very loose knitter. But I'm really enjoying it. The yarn has a lot of vegetable matter. I like the yarn. I've been very hesitant. This is my first project with any kind of shelter yarn or wool people yarn. What is it called? I have not knit anything with Jared Flood's yarns before because I saw him at our we came to our knitting guilds a couple of years ago. Brought all his samples from Wool People and a lot of yarn to sell, and I think it was before he came out with his bulkier weights. I think he only had shelter and what is the fingering, Spindrift? No. The fingering and the worsted. But it was very, very fragile, and the knits I didn't feel were plump and squishy enough. But knitting with the Shelter, which is the worsted weight, it's definitely squishy enough, and it's 2-ply, and even though it's woolen spun, it's a lot stronger than what I remember. So yes, I like the yarn. It's still a little fragile, but definitely, even me with my tight tension, a lot more vegetable matter than I would think. So it's kind of, I don't know, not dirty, but you know, full of twigs and other things. But all in all, yes, I like it. I don't think I would knit a sweater with it though. I'm not going to say never, but I don't think so. So that was the plain knitting. And because it was it was an easy pattern to follow. So other whips, I have my Awakening Cowl. I did not work on this while I was on vacation. I don't think I showed it to you last time. So I brought it with me today. Oh, love this color. I am gonna do the top ribbing, and then I will be ready to do the steeks, which I will kind of record on and do a recording of, so you can watch me do it. But yeah, oops, my stitches are coming out. And like I said, when we went to Brooklyn General last couple of weeks ago, me and Sandy and her daughter Eliza, I bought 2 of these to finish this up with. So I had one, but I held it double down here, and I wanted to be consistent. So I bought another one. Oops, I dropped another stitch. Hold on. Yeah, I love Jamieson and Smith. I love them equally. They're great yarns. So this should be done by the next podcast. I'm pretty confident that it'll be done. I bought some wooden buttons for it down in Brooklyn General. This I'm housing in my little skein in the big wool. I always say big skein in the little wool. It's little skein in the big wool. This is her secret garden bag, and my hat is in earlier when she first started selling bags. This is one of hers. You can't tell, I like her bags a lot. Alright, what other whips do we have? We have the, I'm still working on the test knit for the Love Cowl Pi Shawl, and I know for a fact that at least 3 clues have come out, and I think they're on the last clue. So I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Since I am not up to the last, what would be the last clue left, I am not giving anything away. However, if you haven't gotten to that point yet and you don't want to see what it looks like, this is the Love Pi Shawl by Donna Druchunas. It's a mystery knit along. And again, I'm not showing anything that hasn't already been published now at this point. But if you haven't gotten to the last clue, you shouldn't look. As a refresher, it's in my awesome bags, awesome granny bag. Love it. Another bag I like. And the yarns are Malibrigo Impressionist Sky, which is this beautiful blue, and On the Round in a rainbow colorway called Cornucopia. And love them both. And here is, as best as I can show you, because it's on a needle, here is, ta-da! Let me get the yarn barf out of there. Those are ends, not woven in. She did this kind of open cast on, and what it is it's kind of like a yarn held double thing, but I don't know, if I had to do it over, I would have done a tighter cast on, but that's fine. Here is the rainbow part, and then she goes on to the heart sections, and then this is a fan and feather rainbow, and then another heart section, and now I'm on another heart section. So this is ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on ring 7. And here is, finally I can show it to you. And again, I did not bring this to Florida with me to work on. I didn't really think it was practical. I brought smaller projects, so it didn't get much love, no pun intended, this week. But I've been working on it a lot since I got home. The rounds are taking roughly 15 to 20 minutes each, depending on if it's a lace round or a resting round, if you will. So it's slow going at this point, but I'm still hopeful that I can get it done for my friend Beth relatively soon. She's going through chemo, and it's very aggressive chemo. So I just really want to send her some comfort and love, because she's just such an amazing and beautiful woman. So that is it with the works in progress. If I haven't shown it, I haven't been working on it. I know if you go to my Ravelry page, I technically have a bunch of other things on the needles. Let me just make sure. Where's my show now? I just had them. Probably buried because I moved. Oh, here they are. Sorry. Yeah, the Tom Do shawl by Melanie Berg. I haven't worked on that at all in like 3 or 4 weeks, because I just want to get that Love is Love shawl done. Technically, the sweaters for my niece's daughters are still whips because I haven't sewn the buttons on, but they are home blocking on the kitchen table, so I will insert a picture since I can't show you them. And I'll show them as finished objects when I get the buttons sewn on. They're going to be so cute. I was worried that one might not be big enough, the one for Ella, the Tiny Tea Leaves cardigan, but after giving it a little bath, it stretched out quite a bit because it's super, well, it's marine, it's wool and acrylic, and it stretched out, so it turned out pretty good. So the next podcast, there'll be finished objects, and my nieces both said they'll take some pictures and send them to me, and maybe I can even get a little video clip of the girls down by the river with their sweaters on. It's definitely cool enough. It's been so nice and cool up here, which is a nice change from Florida. Oh, witty. All right. I have got some acquisitions, some stash enhancements, some really cool stuff. So let me show you. I've won Never Enough Time. I've knit a pair of socks by them, and I have some more of her yarn in my stash. I won this. She had a summer knit along, so I put my pair of socks up and won this sock and heel toe set. It's called Luck of the Irish, and it's her superwash merino, 20% nylon. It says Stellina, but I don't think it's Stellina. I don't see any Stellina in here. But I am really excited, so maybe come March I'll be knitting this. My pot of gold, lucky Irish sock yarn. So, and thank you for this. This was a great prize. I'm so excited to have won. So I got this. And I also ordered, I thought I had gotten, because literally I ordered like 2 minutes after it went live. So I thought I had gotten one of the already available kits, but apparently I didn't, because I had to wait for it. But I got the back to school kit from Mustache Yarn and Fat Squirrel. It came in the mail while I was on vacation, and it was just so pretty. It came in a box, and of course here's it's a small bag. It's a generous size small bag from Fat Squirrel with nice autumn look and feel to it. It's got the owls and the leaves and the autumn colors. I really love it. And I also got Autumn Afterglow yarn from Mustache. Beautiful colors. Cast on for this is October 1st, so I got it just in time. We also got this, this is called an embedded seeded paper. You tear it up, plant it under a 1/4 inch of loose soil, and keep evenly moist for approximately 1 to 3 weeks. And it has all sorts of wildflowers in it. And it was just a little thank you, which I thought was really sweet. So I got that. Got some chai spice black tea. And of course a printout of the pattern. Let me just make sure I'm not showing you. And then it came with like a little report card, so you just check off as you get things done. Here's the pattern, which is called Stepping into Fall Socks by Sylvia Harding. Aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they adorable? I love the pupils report card. Use this to keep track of your progress. Isn't that cute? I love it. So this will be the next pair of socks, perfect for October. I'm not really participating in any chit-chatter thread. I'm not a chit-chatter. Here's the beautiful tissue paper too that it was wrapped up in. Isn't that gorgeous? I couldn't throw it away. I will try and do more knitting more socks in October. Hopefully finish marks and start this. The other thing I got on a whim, because I purchased some stuff from Amazon and I kind of use this as a filler, is the yarn texture book. I have not been spinning much lately, and I am by no means a prolific spinner like some of the other podcasters out there, like Sarah from Fiber Trek and Emily from Fiber Town, New Hampshire Knits. They're all like fabulous spinners. Even Amy Beth is such a fantastic spinner. I'm just so-so. However it turns out is how it turns out. But I thought maybe it's time to start kind of paying more attention to my spinning and developing my spinning skills a little over the next year. Knitting is by far my first love, fiber second, and this year has been focused primarily on some big knitting goals and some obligatory knitting that kind of came out of the blue, so I did not spin much this year. But I definitely would like to look through this book. Maybe I'll give you some feedback from the perspective of a beginner knitter that might kind of give you an idea if this book would work for you. But I heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm looking forward to delving into it. So that is that. I also splurged and bought a set of Chiagu small interchangeables. I love Chiagu tips. I've never been a fan of the cords, and until I got a pair of sock yarn, 40-inch circulars in a size 1, and found the cord was much different than what I have remembered. But this interchangeable set, the cords are rather stiff, which is what I didn't like. So I thought I might be getting the more flexible cords, but I didn't. But that's not to say I won't use these. Like I said, I really love the tips. The tips have just such a beautiful feel to them. They're not super slippery, but they're just perfect. They have the perfect pointiness. And while I love Haya-Hayas, if it weren't for the cords, these would be my favorites. Haya-Hayas are more pointier than these and much more slipperier, if that's a word. But these are definitely grabby enough that they're really great. And they start in size 2, which is 2.75 millimeter. Yeah, 2.75 millimeter, and they go up to, I think it's 5 millimeters, size 8, yeah. So I like the case. I like that it zippers, whereas the Hayas, they kind of slide out and get all discombobulated in there. When I was in Disney, I went to this in the Disney downtown, which is kind of like a shopping area. It's all shopping. It's not in one of the theme parks. You don't have to pay to get in it, but it is on Disney property. And my sister and I spent a day shopping there. It was one of our down days. And so we went there, we had lunch together. My mom stayed at the hotel, she went to the pool. And I bought these really cute bags at one of the stores. And I can't for the life of me remember, I don't have the tag with me. But they're canvasy bags with wonderful quotes on them. So this one says, "Kiss your life, accept it just as it is, today, now, so that those moments of happiness you're waiting for don't pass by." Great quote. And in it, I ordered these tins with the clear tops from Amazon. I have a whole slew of them. I plan on buying some like stitch markers and giving them to my knitty friends as gifts during the holidays, but I made these into separate Notion bags. I have tons of tape, so I put that in there. And I also bought these on Amazon and put some tapestry needles. But I really love these bags. If you want to look them up online, they're Sugar Boo bags. Sugar Boo Designs, rather. And like I said, I forget the name of the store, but maybe if you really like them. The zippers are a little wonky, but they're great. They were, I think, $15 in this store. This is a quote by Audrey Hepburn on this one. It's got the same stuff inside, but it says, "I believe in pink," and I love pink myself, so that was perfect. "I believe that laughing is the best calorie burner. I believe in kissing a lot. I believe in being strong." Sorry, racing bikes. "I believe in being strong when everything seems to be going wrong. I believe that happy girls are the prettiest girls. And I believe that tomorrow is another day. And I believe in miracles." There you go. So, I watched the Knit One Heart 2 podcast, and I know that not Sheila, but oh my gosh, I can't remember her name, but she has a separate Notion bags for all that go into her separate project bags. The only thing I have to get for these are little scissors. And I always thought, oh, that's a little crazy, but you know what? The more I think about it, the more I think it's a great idea. So, because I bought that awesome granny bag that had a matching Notions bag, that's the one that I was using for the antler cardigan for my niece's daughter. And it was really handy, because then I could just grab, if I didn't need my huge bag that I kept my main Notions kit in, and I knew I just wanted to knit on one thing, I could grab that and get to and still have everything I need inside. So that's what I've done. And that's basically it for stash acquisition kind of stuff. If you'd like to stick around, I'm just going to talk a little bit about our trip to Florida. If you don't, then I will see you in a couple of weeks. Me and Sandy hopefully will be together again for the next podcast. And it will be the last one before Rhinebeck. Sorry I had to say it like that. I can't believe it's only 3 weeks. So anyway, if you don't want to hear about Florida, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. The weekend before Rhinebeck, as a matter of fact. So we flew down on Friday the 16th, got in around 1, picked up our car, and then we drove and we picked up my daughter at her apartment. She was already out of school, and it was so good to see my baby girl again. I can't tell you how happy I was. So Friday night, what did we do? I think we just went out to dinner at like a Ruby Tuesdays or something, at the first place we saw, because we were kind of starving. We hadn't eaten anything since breakfast, and it was early afternoon. Rachel was also hungry, so we went and did that. And then we just went to the hotel that evening and had some bar food and wine. Me, my sister, and my daughter. My mom went to bed early. And then Saturday was a long day. We went to Magic Kingdom, mostly because I had never been there. My sister had been there. My mother had never been there. This was her. She's been to Disney, but I don't think she went to Magic Kingdom ever. And of course, my daughter had been there with Mark when he originally drove down for school. So I was a first timer. And it is definitely very kids oriented. It's for young kids. It's not really for grown-ups. But we still had a good time, but it was so excruciatingly hot. I loved the parade. I loved the ambiance. It was just beautiful, and it was magical. And I'm going to put this beautiful video. I wish it were a little better, but my mother, they were doing a parade, or they were singing a song, had music playing in the background. And my mother was we were sitting down in an area eating ice cream, and my mother was standing on the sidewalk kind of waiting for us, and she heard this song come, and she's like, "Oh, my father used to play this song all the time on the piano." And then she started singing and dancing. And my daughter got her phone out and started recording a video of it, and it's just like so precious. It was beautiful. My mother looked so happy. It was just so wonderful. And I know I'm all gushy, but it really was just so beautiful to see my mother so carefree and happy, not a worry. And that was really wonderful. So I'll put that at the end if you'd like to see my mom looking like that. So that was Saturday. After we left the park fairly early, and then we went to downtown Disney, which is now called Disney Springs, which is that shopping area, and this is all by shuttles, right? And we had dinner at Portobello, an Italian restaurant, which was out of this world delicious. And my nephew, my oldest stepbrother's son, Dominic, he goes to school in Florida as well, and lives in Orlando, and he met us there for dinner. His birthday is also in September. So my mom wanted to treat everybody, and that was kind of her gift, is to treat us to like a birthday dinner for Rachel and Dominic. And it was really lovely. We were kind of tired and maybe even a little grumpy, but after dinner at from 9 to 11, we saw the Cirque du Soleil show in downtown Disney, which I would say should be on your bucket list. It was my first time to a Cirque du Soleil show. I've never seen one, and it was also a treat from my mother, or my parents really. It was magnificent. So that was Saturday. Sunday we went to Animal Kingdom, which was by far my favorite park. It was amazing, and we went on the safari ride. The animals have free range. You really just drive through and look at them, but it's kind of like they're just living in the open, and it really was. I am kind of anti-zoo. Even the Bronx Zoo, I just don't go there anymore, because I don't think it's right to have animals in captivity. But what Disney does is they help endangered species to keep them from going extinct. and also they are big supporters of anti-poaching establishment. So anyway, I would say by far that was my favorite day. Everybody enjoyed it, despite the fact that it was disgustingly humid and hot. We bought one of these like squirty bottles that had a fan on it, so it misted the water. That's the only way we were able to survive. We ended up having to leave kind of early because we couldn't handle the heat anymore. It was, my mother's 78, and even my sister Kim, you could tell it was taking the toll. I want to go back to Animal Kingdom and go there again and be able to spend more time there. And when Rachel graduates this coming February, I think I might make a day of it. So that night we went to the Asian restaurant, which the name escapes me, down in downtown Disney as well. And it was out of this world. Everything was a little pricier than I kind of am used to paying up here. Even in New York City, you could get food relatively cheap, or you could also find food really expensive in New York City. But it's all part of the deal, and we were fine with that. And it was amazing. The service was amazing in every restaurant I went to down there, and the food was top notch. So that was Sunday. Monday we took a day off. Monday, of course, Rachel had to go back to her apartment because she had school, and she had to work Monday afternoon and into the evening. So we didn't see Rachel Monday. That was a pool day. What did we do for dinner? I don't remember what we did for dinner. Was that the day we went shopping? I don't remember. Anyway, I think Monday was just a pool day. Tuesday, Rachel and I, after Rachel got out of school, she had to work a couple of hours. And then after that, at around 2, we went to Epcot, and we stayed at Epcot late in the evening. And Wednesday, oh no, that was not Tuesday. Oh my gosh, oh yes, it was Tuesday. We went to Epcot, just me and Rachel. Kim and my mother had both been to Epcot before, and they didn't want to pay to go in. And they decided to do some shopping and other stuff, and they went out and had dinner together. So that was fine. It was just me and Rachel. We had a magnificent time. I was totally in awe of Epcot, and that's another park that I would go back and spend another day in, because there was so much to see. It was impossible to see everything, but I had made reservations in Germany to have dinner at the beer garden with my daughter. I love German food. It's my favorite cuisine, and sauerbraten is probably my favorite meal, and I love spätzle, I love the dumplings, I love red cabbage. So Rachel and I went there and had dinner there, and it was just they had a great show with music, German music, and the bells and the accordion, and they put you at a table with other parties and fill the table, and there was great people at the table. I had a grapefruit beer, which was amazingly delicious, and it was just a great day. The show at the end was out of this world. So that was Tuesday. Then I had to drive Rachel back to her apartment, and then I went home. And Wednesday was Rachel's birthday. So Wednesday she had school, and she has school every morning, but was another down day, and we had reservations to go to the Yachtsman, which is at the Yacht Club Resort. It's on a Disney resort, and actually, quite coincidentally, we did not know this, Kim made the reservations there because her and her husband had been to Disney before and had dinner there, and she was a big fan of it. So we decided she said, is this a good place for Rachel's birthday dinner? I said, sure. And she said, it's a little pricey. I'm like, that's okay, let's just do it. And because my daughter loves steaks, she just is a little carnivore, and it was her birthday Wednesday, so that's what we did. She she drive down? No, I picked her up. And, oh yeah, it was Monday that Kim and I went shopping. I know this because when we were there Sunday before, or was it, yeah, was it Sunday? Before or after we ate dinner, we walked around and checked out the shops, and my daughter saw this dress that she loved, and of course she tried it on, and I know she was thinking maybe someone will buy it for me, but we were all like, no, we're not going to buy it. So Kim and I went back Monday and we bought her the dress and the belt that went with it, and we gave her that Wednesday after when she got to the hotel, and we and she wore it out to dinner, which was really cool. And then after the dinner was the best dining experience I ever had. It was the best waiter, the best service, the best food. It was amazing. And I mean, like, I'm married to a CIA chef. I've eaten at the CIA, Culinary Institute of America, many times. It's great food. I would say they're on par with each other. If not, this steak place was better. The waiter was certainly out of this world. His name was Bill. He knew everything about everything on the menu. He knew everything about the wines. He was wonderful to talk to, very personable. Everything was impeccably timed. It was just fantastic. It was worth every penny. I would go there again. It's a special occasion place though, because it was like $50 a plate just for the food, not to mention the wine. So anyway, I was the driver that night, so I only had one glass of wine, but the wine was delicious. Again, another fantastic day. Thursday was our last full day there, and one of my biggest desires was to go to Universal and see the Harry Potter stuff. And part of it, the blame goes to me because I didn't check it out, but part of it is their very obscure website. So anyway, long story short, Rachel had to work again after school, so we didn't get there till like 2 o'clock, and it was all of us. We all went. We get there, and I did check out the website because I wanted to see how much the passes were, and I saw this thing that said $155 for a double park pass, and I'm like, double park? And then I saw one was Universal, one was like some island thing, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we want Universal because that's where Harry Potter is, right? Well, it turns out half of Harry Potter, the school, is in one park, and Diagon Alley is in another park. So if you want to see both Harry Potter things, you have to buy a double park pass, which was more than a pass to Disney. And Universal is a great place if you like roller coasters, but it ain't no Disney. It just isn't at par with Disney. And anyway, we get there, so I decided I'll go for Diagon Alley. So we go to there, and nobody said anything about this. It was actually a security guy that we talked to asking for directions, like how to get to it, that said, well, you do know they close at 5 today. I'm like, what? No, we didn't know. And he goes, yeah, they close at 5 because they're going to kick everyone out at 5 because they're getting ready for some Halloween thing tonight. And I'm like, well, you know, good thing I didn't buy my ticket yet. And he goes, the other park's open till 8. And I'm like, you know, you'd think they'd say that on the website. And he goes, well, they do. If you go to park hours and blah, blah. I'm like, it should be right up front. It should be like in your face. And nobody would have told us if it weren't for that security guy. So that was like a pet peeve. So that aside, we bought tickets to the other park, which had the Hogwarts school and the Hogwarts ride through the school. So it was very well done. It was smaller. It wasn't as good as Disney. I'm sorry I'm comparing to Disney, but it was great. But if I were to do it again, because I don't do roller coaster rides. My sister and my mom don't do roller coaster rides. My Rachel, she loves roller coaster rides. But that was the only good thing, is the rides. I did the walk through the school castle, and it was okay. It was good. It just, nothing was what I expected, and I think I got spoiled by Disney. And I went on the ride, which was kind of like a virtual ride, if you will. Like you're staying in one place, but your seat moves all over the place, and the screen comes at you. And I got incredibly sick. I get motion sickness. I don't do well on roller coasters. I wanted to see it so bad because I'm such a Harry Potter geek that I did it anyway, and I got sick, and it kind of ruined the whole day for me. So Thursday was kind of a flop. We went to some chains Italian restaurant, which had great food, but the service was terrible. It wasn't on Disney, it wasn't on Universal, so it was just, we hit it on the way home. And then we dropped Rachel off. I had to say goodbye to my baby, and we left early Friday morning. And that was my wonderful vacation. And I'm not going to hold you up any longer. I know it's been a lot of jibber jabber, but I just figured I'd share it. And I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Yay! Bye.